Did he say start?
Yes.
Meeting will please come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I should mention that Director Gain is joining us on Zoom. So, next up, the Celebrating Success.
Mr. Hebert, would you mind joining me up here, please, sir? Good evening. Thank you for having us. This is Stephen Hebert. He works in the pro shop at Kingsdale. Well, our fancy new temporary pro shop. Stephen has worked for us now for about 2 years, going on 2 years now. And I wanted to take a moment just to recognize the significant contribution that he has been and is to our organization. Definitely delivers the wow factor, right? So he was hired on in the pro shop staff position. I'm just going to kind of enumerate. I had to narrow the list down, right? So of things that I'd like to acknowledge about Stephen. He's hired in the pro shop position, but there are as many weekdays that after one of our full shotguns, you'll see him out sweating like with all the rest of the folks are out there turning and washing cars and getting them ready for the afternoon wave. He has created several spreadsheets to increase our efficiency, particularly teaching new staff how to set up shotguns and how to do hole assignments and things of that nature. He noticed one day that I needed a better way to carry supplies to the first tee box on some of my tournaments. Well, because my tournament box had basically dissolved, and he built me a brand new one. He brought some of his own stuff up to set up our supply closet in our former pro shop. He often takes the initiative to research our technology items, and then he puts a kind of like a hit list of things that makes those technology items worth buying, and then he puts a little puts it right by the case that we used to have, which we'll get again when we go back to our living quarters. He has a great relationship with our customers. He's a great upseller, not in a forced way, but in a genuine way of, hey, you know, look around, there's some stuff here that you probably need that you don't know that you need. I could go on, but the thing that really tipped the scales for me was this. You know, we're in a temporary pro shop, and we converted that space, and most of you probably been in it by now. Tom loves going in there, especially Gus loves going to my office. What really caused me to nominate him for this award was this. I had to leave early one day. You remember when the pollen starts falling, and this year is really bad. And I mean, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see, I was sneezing, and I came back the next day, and he had cleaned every surface from the tops of the refrigerators to removing all the merchandise, and what really put it over the top was he had mopped the floor in that temporary pro shop. I could go on. This is just a small list of the kinds of things that he's done that enhances our members' lives, and I want to take a moment to celebrate Stephen Hebert.
Some things just can't be changed.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Next item is the approval. Did you have something you wanted to do?
Let's do the barbecue.
Okay, go ahead.
We'd like to invite our barbecue festival folks here. I'm sure I've massacred the name of your festival, but make sure you speak into the microphone so that people at home can hear you.
I'm Dave Edwards, I'm the festival director with the Northwest Arkansas Festival Association. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're responsible for the Northwest Arkansas Festival. This is Denise Hanley, our president, and Alex Bogard is helping run our barbecue. And I'm going to turn this over to Denise, but before I get off, you can thank Tom Justin for twisting my arm at a meeting the other day. Where's some barbecue samples? Texas style barbecue. There you go. Hope you enjoy. And with that, I'll turn this over to Denise.
Hi, y'all. I'm from Texas. That's barbecue from Texas. We just wanted to give y'all an update on how we're doing with the festival promotion and registrations. And we have about 70 crafters already registered of space for about 140. And the barbecue is being broadcast wide and far from the IBCA, which is the International Barbecue Cookers Association out of Texas. And so that's getting to their couple of thousand, 10,000 members throughout. So as they put their calendars together, we're expecting to have at least 30 teams here in October. And a lot of people are happy to know that there's a revival in Bella Vista, because that used to be most people's favorite other place to go on that weekend. I'm not mentioning names. And we have a lovely flyer if any of y'all would like to take some, pass them out. It's a postcard on the back. So we'll be using these a lot in, our advertising of the deal. But we're just on track, we're on schedule. Alex is the pit master. So we have barbecue ribs and we have pulled pork, and underneath the purple napkin are slider rolls. So, and fruit tray. So you guys, if they give you a break, y'all can eat while it's hot. Thank you, and we look forward to giving you updates later on.
A couple real quick things. Alex cooked all
Yes.
barbecue,
Yeah.
and he is now Southern Sasquatch Catering Company.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Smoking Southern Sasquatch.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to time these guys.
I realize we're
If
at,
anyone would like to make a small donation to the festival, we would be more than happy.
ladies and gents, good evening. My name is Alex Bogard. Like it was mentioned before, I'm responsible for the barbecue part of the Northwest Arkansas Festival. Upon somebody's request here in Dave's, I decided to bring you guys some barbecue. This is Southern Texan type ribs, some pulled pork you guys enjoy. And I just went into business for myself last Friday, filed my DBA. So you guys be looking for a brick and mortar barbecue place coming to Bella Vista, Texas style. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
That's right.
that being said, I'm going to stretch my authority as chairman. We're going to take a short break and go over and get some barbecue. So I'll lead the way.
Deborah?
Yeah, well, I will. I just want to kind of get Ruth up here. And through the line.
Just,
Sure, I understand.
just have to be a first.
You bet.
Thanks, buddy.
You betcha. Appreciate it. No problem.
Here are my samples. They're good.
Okay.
Do they know we're
Pass his
opening a
taste
barbecue
test,
place?
Yeah, so it must be okay.
I didn't say
What
anything.
can I say? We won.
All right, guys, take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys enjoy. Let me know, and I've got a Facebook page, so if you guys want to give me a review, I appreciate it. Southern Buffalo, ship it off.
She's wearing white.
Perfect, perfect.
No, I'm coming, yeah, I'm just waiting my turn. Just waiting. I am gonna start the 3-minute timer, so everyone.
Good? Yeah. Smells good.
Eat some for me.
Yeah. Found out yesterday, right before golf. So. Yeah, sure. Mike Jett. Yeah, I bought them at 3 years old.
Yeah.
And told them Monday. Well, that was.
So I think we'll be able to work and eat at the same time. Yeah, you definitely need a napkin. Okay, getting back to work. The next item on the agenda is I got everybody to sit down. April 25th, last month's regular meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve? Jerry? Jeff, second. Did anybody find anything that needed to be changed? I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 8. And the next item, the last week's work session. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes? JB? Jason? Did anybody find anything in those minutes? Good. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 8. Next up, the Joint Advisory Committee reports. Recreation is first. You've got that one, okay?
Well, first of all, I want to say that's outstanding barbecue. So thank you for bringing samples. That is really gracious of you. So I'm personally looking forward to going to the festival this year.
We are going to be cooking barbecue at the festival this year for public consumption.
Outstanding. Okay, so the Recreation Committee summary, Kathleen Coughlin and Mike McCloskey were unanimously nominated to extend their terms. And that is an item on the agenda for the board today. Amenity reports, all amenities were found to be in good condition with the following comments. Metfield basket and frame is missing the backboard on the north end of the basketball court. At Loch Lomond, a suggestion was made to create a walking path to the creek area as people fish there, and the area itself is very pretty. Kingsdale, cracks in court number 7 and 8 are getting worse, and there is concern they may become a safety issue. Lake Ann Park, it was noted that the large fishing dock has several floorboards showing signs of rot and about to break loose, and some boards already missing. Staff reports, Rick Eccles reported that roof replacement has been completed at Tyree Park, London Park, and Lake Ann. John Urquhart report is usage at the Skeet and Trap were down 10% this year, mainly due to one event that switched, and 121 Bella Vista residents used the Ozark Sportsman gun range in April. Joan, the Kingsdale Playground remains closed. We are still waiting on parks. The cabins at Blowing Springs are sold out every weekend throughout the summer. Lake Avalon Beach is open on May 25th, and sand has been delivered. They were spreading it today, actually. Morning fitness classes have been added at the BVRC, and disc golf signs have been updated at Branchwood. The Lakes Committee update. Lake Windsor is now fully up to, or at full pool. Yeah, actually. Nutrient enhancement needs for all lakes except Brittany will be evaluated the next few weeks. Lake fertilization cannot be done during high rain levels. A decision to draw down Lake Norwood next winter has been postponed pending new information about lake access. And kids fishing derby took place at the Metfield Clubhouse on May 18th at 8 o'clock, and we had 60 participants, and evidently they were catching fish in the 4 to 7 pound range. So, which means that the fish that were not caught in previous years were the ones that were caught this year, and they didn't catch any of the small ones, so that means next year we'll get big fish caught also. So that's outstanding. So that's the Lakes Committee report. Next up is golf.
Okay, we had a golf meeting on May 8th. Golf maintenance, our new superintendent, Graham Cordmeyer. I invite you to look at the complete minutes at the website or to watch the actual golf committee. Discussed winter damage occurred mostly in January. Damage occurred due to traffic during winter. Had pictures to show a snow angel that was made on one of the greens, and it showed the impact of the snow angel, and the next picture showed the damage on the greens after the snow had melted, and it wasn't pretty, so please stay off in the wintertime. Traffic during the winter season, of course, is damage to course. Possible solutions is to keep carts on path only during the winter months. Tom and Darrell discussed the idea of trying to experiment with 2 courses, maybe Highlands and the Country Club, carts on path only. Need comments and discussion from the golf committee. Dave Armstrong suggested that we propose creating a survey for the golf groups to have their input on playability to help reduce the traffic in the wintertime. Graham said there are numerous types of grasses on the course, and that's why you see different green ups at different times. Capital projects completed. Booster pump installed at Scottsdale. Tanya Creek moving along nicely. They ordered USGA GS3 ball for each golf course, which measures green speed, trueness, smoothness, and firmness. So you should expect solid greens all summer long. Darrell with golf operations. April rounds ended at 19,626, down 2,106 over last year. Year-to-date rounds ended at 49,646, up by 7,263 over last year. The weather for the month of April was cold and rainy, and this is a negative impact of the rounds of golf played as well as just short of our goal. Range buckets were down due to the change of Tanya Creek practice facilities. Range buckets year-to-date are 13,736, down almost 8,400 from last year. Kingswood Pro Shop is doing well. They're putting on final touches. It looks awesome. Great layout, new logo, merchandise has been ordered, and Tanya Creek update is going along smoothly. Tournaments, Alex reported. Folds of Honors was held, 28 teams for the event, great event. Greenskeeper Revenge Tournament at Dogwood this weekend. They have it on Friday afternoon and Saturday morning both. Couples mixed at Dogwood, May 31st through June 2nd. Men's 2-ball at Scottsdale, June 7th and 8th. Operation 36 is great in the summer and going on for summer registration. Junior camps are filling up. Get your kids in there if you want to. Women's Chip and Sip program at the Hannah and Megan at Scottsdale was very well received, as well as the men's golf and gulp with Ryan and Tom at the Highlands, which are 2 new programs they tried. Committee members' terms, Mark Deal is done with a 2-year term. He's been there 6 years, or 2 terms. He's been there 6 years, and we really appreciate all his help. We need applications for new committee members to go out, so we need 1 new committee member. There was an error on Gary Mertz. He still has 1 year to go on his term. And Ruth Hatcher asked for an extended renewal of a next term, and it was unanimously voted to bring it to the board. Next golf JAC meeting is Wednesday, June 12th. Questions, comments?
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you. Next on the agenda, the financial reports. Beth.
All right, we're here to look at the financial overview for April, and as always, the financial reports included in this presentation, as well as the more detailed financials, will be posted on the website. Starting with the consolidated financial overview, we had a really good month, consolidated basis. Revenue was $3.4 million compared to budget of $3,255,000, and better than prior year, which was $3,203,000. Expenses is at $2,459,000, just a little bit over budget of $2,399,000, and prior year of $2,240,000. EBITDA was $497,000, better than budget of $403,000, and just $2,000 less than prior year's April, $499,000. Year-to-date, so far in 2024, total revenue consolidated is $12,553,000 compared to $11,008,000 on budget and $11,562,000 prior year. Expenses, $9,091,000, which is better than budget of $9,786,000 and more than prior year of $8,585,000. EBITDA is $1,920,000 so far in 2024, compared to budget of $513,000, and better than prior year of $1,443,000. I will say this is just April, so it's hard to determine exactly when some expenses are going to hit what month to budget them in, so it's very possible on that expenses variance that you could see that narrow as the months go. Looking at POA revenue, you will see on the chart on the left, the green is the 2024 actual, red is the budget, and gold was prior year. So for every month so far in 2024, except for January, actual has exceeded budget in prior year. Looking at the last column there in April, revenue for the POA only in April was $2,349,000, which was $2,000 more than budget and better than prior year. Some of the significant variances for the POA, the resale of lots was $33,000 better, member transfer fees $28,000 better than budget, investment income is $21,000 better than budget, as the treasury rates are remaining higher longer than we expected them to. Assessments is $17,000 better than budget. Worse than budget was golf, $86,000 worse than budget for the month of April. This is reflected with the cold and the rainy April we had, and the greens fees, the cart rentals. Guest green fees were 57,000 worse. Member green fees was 10,000 worse than budget, and cart rentals 30,000 worse than budget. And kind of along those same lines, food and beverage sales were 36,000 worse than budget as well. But year to date, the POA's revenue is still strong at $8,828,000, which is over 500,000 better than budget, and about 600,000 better than prior year. The Gear Garden opened in April, so there's some pics of a lot of people there enjoying the festivities. It opened April 19th through 21st was the opening weekend, and the sales that weekend was 19,000, so it was a great start. Looking at water, revenue year to date is $3,725,000, which is $223,000 better than budget and $340,000 better than the prior year. Expenses, $1,615,000 year to date, which is $59,000 better than budget, $161,000 more than prior year. EBITDA is $1,178,000 year to date, which is nearly $300,000 better than budget and $166,000 better than prior year. For the month of April, again, the dark blue is actual, the bright blue is budget, and the gray is prior year. So you'll see that again every month except for January, revenue has exceeded budget and actual. Some of the significant variances there were the capital buy-in fees, $73,000 better, new service connections, $62,000 better, and we received $7,000 of insurance compensation on the stolen trailer and tools, and there just wasn't any large, significant, worse than budget to report. The expenses for the month of April came in at $369,000. Which is more than budget and prior year. Better than budget was supplies, equipment, and tools, and outside contracts. Worse than budget was water distribution equipment, and the estimated accrual of healthcare costs allocated to water. All of those categories are very subject to timing of when it's budgeted and when it's hitting. We do have a new loan with Regions. We have not funded that loan yet. We have not drawn on it, but regardless, we've had to report to them our debt ratios to show that we're in compliance with the loan covenant. The first cash flow leverage ratio, the bank requires that ratio to be less than 3.5. We were easily compliant with that at 0.55. The second one is a debt service coverage ratio that must be 1.25 or greater. Again, easily compliant at 4.42. Our cash remains strong at $7,500,000. Water operating unreserved is $3.4 million. Water reserved is $1,021,000. POA unreserved is $2,083,000, and POA reserves is $1,020,000. And looking at the one-pager, practically every department is better than budget, with the biggest winners being general income, water, golf maintenance, and recreation. Worse than budget year-to-date is food and beverage and central admin. Year-to-date, the POA without water is $1.1 million better than budget. The POA owes the water $2,500,000. And on the BVRC loan to the bank, we owe $2,325,000, and there's the cash again. Again, all the detailed financials will be posted on the website. Any questions?
So it's early in the year, and as we know, some of those things bounce around, like Beth says, timing. So anyway, so it looks like we've got a good year coming. At this time is for the open forum. Was there anybody? Nobody signed up? Nobody sent in? Good. Next, we would welcome newly elected and returning Board of Directors. J.B. Portillo and Jackie Gain were reelected to the board, and Deborah Lukacs joins us as a new member. Thank you. And
We wanted to read the official results here. All these results are available on our website. Jackie came in first place with 5,482 votes. Deborah came in second with 5,320. JB came in third with 4,479. So congratulations to those three candidates, and as always, we want to thank the other candidates for trying, and we encourage them to consider running again. And before we move on, we want to recognize Jan Hagan for his 3 years of service on the board. We went and got you something nice.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, thank you so much.
It's not ticking. Maybe you take a moment and take it out and show everybody.
Yes, I will. Oh, what a wonderful card. Thank you all for writing something. I'm going to treasure this, absolutely. Well, let's get to the present.
Get to the
Like my
goods,
kids,
get to the
right?
goods.
probably a mini motorhome.
It's a mini motorhome.
That's a
A
mini.
mini motorhome.
No, it's not. Really? It's not mine.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, very.
This is wonderful. Thank you. Oh, outstanding.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. May I just make a comment here, maybe? Is that appropriate?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I just want to quickly say, I know we have a long agenda, but I want to thank all of our members who've allowed me to serve this past 3 years. It's been my honor and my privilege to do so. I really want to thank all of you. My 3 years on the board, and in particular this last year, has been outstanding because of each of you. We've debated topics, we've discussed them in and out, but we've always done it in a professional and productive way. And there was never any doubt that anybody's point of view was from what's best for all of our members in Bella Vista. And for that, I'm appreciative. I'm excited about the next board because I think that synergy will continue. And finally, I want to say thank you, Tom, for your leadership, your professionalism. I'm not sure if everybody is aware that if one member has a complaint or has something they're upset about, you're willing to meet them, to talk to them on the phone, to engage them so that you can explain fully and try to help them best you can. And that's very special. That's a special leadership, and I really appreciate that. You and the staff that you've assembled, totally professional group. So with that, thank you all, appreciate it. I'm looking forward to traveling in the motorhome and admiring you all from afar.
And thank you for all the big new words we learned.
Thanks, Jan.
Yes. Thank you, Jan. Jan served as vice chair this past year, and throughout his 3 years, he brought some very good, solid advice to the boardroom, and we are all happy to have had 3 years with you. So thank you very much. The next item, Corporate Secretary has an announcement to make.
I would like to announce our new chairperson as Jason Lloyd and our vice chair, Jackie Gain. That goes into effect the beginning of June. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Next item, we actually get to start voting now. This is the budget calendar for 2025. It's quite similar. The dates have been changed, but it's quite similar to what's worked for us in the past. Were there any concerns or questions? Then I guess we'd need a motion to approve it.
Yes,
Make a motion that we approve the presented budget calendar for 2025.
Second.
you have to say it again?
JB makes the motion and Jerry seconded. I guess now's the proper time to ask for comments and concerns. I know we talked about it before and it seemed pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 8. Next up, waiver request, an emergency water main project that's been all repaired. It was kind of an emergency. They lost 300,000 gallons of water in very short order.
I think it was like an hour or something like that, something crazy like that.
They got to it very quickly, but we had to bring in outside contractors because of where the pipe was positioned, how it had to be repaired, and there were electrical lines buried in the same trench. So we hired the professionals to come in, and it came in at 82 plus.
It came in at 82,108.92. We had originally thought it was going to be $70,000, and that was what was approved by the board. They ended up having to dig down 13 feet, so it was a lot more extensive of a job than originally contemplated. So we're asking the board for a waiver because the original project was approved at $70,000 and it came in over the 10% threshold.
Can I have a motion on that? Jeff?
I move to grant a waiver for emergency water main replacement capital project, which came in at $82,108.92, but was originally approved for $70,000.
And a second by Jason. Is there any comments, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 8.
And if you drive by that area, you'll see that they finished the asphalt work and they did a great job. It's all buttoned up now.
You never even tell that there was water gushing in it. Next item is a stolen vehicle from the water department. Can I have a motion on that one?
Sure.
I move authorizing the water department to purchase of a new work vehicle which replaces work vehicle that was stolen at a net cost of $42,108.74, and that's factoring in the insurance payout.
Thank you. Second on that? Sandy? Any questions on this? I guess we were told that the mileage on this vehicle meant it would be soon to be replaced.
Yeah, it was, we actually,
We did okay.
we did pretty good. It was a high mileage vehicle. It was probably a few years away from needing to roll out of service. And the fact that we got $31,700 in insurance payment for it, we actually did pretty well. And now we have a new, once we get this approved, we'll have a new vehicle, so we'll be all set.
Okay. Any questions on that motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 8. Next item up is a real estate office proposal in the country club. The first thing we need to have is a motion on that.
I'll make a motion authorizing the management to draft an execute a contract with Crylene to create a satellite real estate office.
Thank you. Second by soon-to-be ex-director Hagan.
Too soon.
Okay, well, I know we've had some questions on this, and before we vote on it, I want to give everybody a chance to weigh in. So we'll just start right here.
Well, I think this is a wonderful, I think this is a wonderful opportunity, and it is experimental, and but it has the potential for really benefiting our members in that we will have people available to talk about opportunities for homes in Bella Vista and also talk about the neighborhood and what it has to offer. The concern that some of us had has been taking this space, and I think that that'll be monitored as this moves forward, and if adjustments need to be made, they'll be made there. But I think it's going to be a good opportunity for our POA.
Thank you. JB?
I just want to say thank you for sending out, and making sure that all the real estate people in the area had an opportunity to bid on this. It's important. We're not playing favoritism at all. I agree, this is a great potential thing for us, and good job.
Jerry?
Yeah, I think it would be beneficial to us in the POA in a lot of aspects. I know people I've talked to that moved recently here, they're not told all about the POA. And I think that that's a plus out of it. I don't think you'll see hard sales pitch, people pushing each other to try to get to customers to come into them. But I think it's good for the POA.
Thank you. Sandy?
My only concern, as I indicated at the work session, was that I wanted it moved back to the back of the room. Just because, you know, you take a shy person like me, if I come into the country club and I feel like I might be approached by somebody that I don't want to talk to, I may not come to the country club.
Yeah.
I may go somewhere else. So I just don't want members to feel as if they have to look the other way because they're not buying a house today. So.
Shy person? Sorry.
That's what I'm saying, Shy.
What? You threw me.
Yeah.
And we are gonna, I didn't update the memo, because the graphics were challenging. But yes, it would be in the section furthest from the lobby.
Okay, then I'll come.
Jeff?
I would just like to reiterate the point that this is an experimental, temporary agreement that is for 6 months, and then both parties could reevaluate, and if it works out, then great, we continue on. It's not something that once we start this, it's a never-ending and set in concrete.
Jason?
I sentiments of the previous directors. I'd like to add that I appreciated the way Crylike handled the situation and the way they came in very professional and laid everything out exactly how they were going to do it to us, so we kind of had an idea of what we could expect in the first experimental period. So kudos to them for doing that. And I think, to Jan's point, I think it's going to be great for the membership. And to Jerry's point, a lot of it just to answer questions that we don't have the staff to sit in that area a lot. So looking forward to see how it works out.
Jackie?
Similar comments. Tom, I appreciate you listening to the concerns about being in the center of the lobby and to move that over to the furthest corner. I think that's a win-win. Also, that it's a trial is great. I think it's great that their top producers are the ones that will be there, 3 million plus a year. So they're very knowledgeable. And I think that the hours that they are willing to begin this endeavor with are very generous, and we won't have staff here the same hours that they have. And so that's just more of an advantage and service for our members.
Thank you. I feel like I get to weigh in too. I feel that this can be a win-win for both. I think we all understand the draw for the realtors to have first contact with people with questions. And just today, with the silent auction going on in that area, the people there working the silent auction tell me how many people they've talked to who come in that door and have questions. And so, you know, we will get a lot of information out to new owners and potential owners, and they will have first contact with people. I believe they are professional enough that there's not going to be any hard selling going on, because most of selling is just taking care of people's problems. You find out what they want. So now, Tom said he wanted to say something.
Just a couple comments, and a lot of this are already in the memo, but you know, the board weighed all the pros and cons. They talked about this at length. This is actually, we've talked about it for several months, and so this wasn't a hasty or quick decision. To reiterate what JB says, we sent out RFPs to all real estate offices in Bella Vista and Coldwell Banker, which is located pretty darn close to Bella Vista. We felt that Crylike was the best offer for our membership. Our legal department has reviewed all aspects of this and they feel very comfortable with this. As was mentioned, the pros, they're only going to have the pros there, not the rookies. They're going to have the experienced ones, and they're willing to go through training with our member resources department so they can address those questions, you know, where's the Huntley office and so forth, and easy stuff like that they're going to be able to address. So it's really good benefit for the POA and for our membership.
Thank you. So, did anybody else have a secondary comment? In that case, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
That's 8. The next item is kind of a yuck. The drain, aged as it is, under the Highlands kitchen has collapsed. It's not functioning properly. We need to close the kitchen at the Highlands for hopefully no more than a week.
So the news gets a little worse in that we found some additional issues. So I don't have the number at this time. So this is a little bit unusual, but I am asking the board to approve the $29,105, knowing that I'm going to be coming back probably in 1 or 2 months with a waiver. The line all the way to the grease trap is blocked also. That's something we just recently found. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to have to wait until next month's board meeting to get approval, because we got to get this done. We originally thought the work could be completed in about 5 or 6 days. We're probably now looking at a week and a half, something of that nature. So I ask for the board's forgiveness on this, but I'd like us to move forward knowing that we're going to have to get a waiver.
It's kind of like approving the budget. We approve the budget and the next month we have an emergency, so these things happen. Can I have a motion on that, please?
This is, the bar's not closed.
That's
The
what I was gonna
bar
jump
is
in.
not
Yeah.
going to be
This is
closed.
just the kitchen area. The pub and the pool tables are still open.
Yeah, food and beverage plans to go back to the previous situation where they prepare some sandwiches, have them available, you know, not a great selection, but there's something there. So they're just gonna have to close the kitchen for a while. So can I have a motion on that?
I move that we authorize the emergency capital expenditure of $29,105.77 to repair the kitchen drainage pipes at Highlands.
Thank you. Second on that by Mr. Hagan. Any other questions? Realizing,
I do have a question. Do we have any kind of rough estimate on how much more that's gonna be, or are you scared to even go down that road?
I don't have an estimate at this time. I just found out yesterday that about this, and so unfortunately I don't. They're trying to get it from me, but they couldn't get it before this meeting.
Okay.
I asked them to, but they were like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, so.
well, we got a surprise to look forward to then. Yeah. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 8. Next item on the agenda, JAC nominations. We have from the Recreation and the Golf Committees. We'll take these one by one. Can I have a nomination on Keith McCloskey to rec?
I'll make a motion affirming the nomination of Keith McCloskey to the Recreation Committee.
Thank you, Jackie. Jeff seconds that. Was there any questions about Keith? All those in favor?
Aye.
And now for Kathleen Coughlin to the Recreation Committee.
I move the nomination of Kathleen Coughlin to the Recreation Committee.
Second.
Second by JB. Yeah, that's, Kathleen has one of those names that you need to hear it pronounced before you remember it. So, anyway, questions about Kathleen?
She's been on, is this her second term, Deborah, or first?
She was in a partial term.
Partial term, gotcha.
Partial term. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 8. And for Ruth Hatcher to the Golf Committee.
Can we have discussion first? Yeah. I make a motion of confirming the nomination of Ruth Thatcher to the golf committee.
Absolute second.
Everybody seconded that one. Any discussion? I didn't think
Always
so.
thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Ruth. Bella Vista's #1 volunteer. All those in favor of Ruth?
Can we vote twice?
Aye.
8. Okay. Congratulations, Ruth. You're saddled with the job again. Okay. The report from the inspectors of election.
That was already done.
Is that all? Is
we're
there
good.
anything more?
No, I think that was everything.
That's it. Okay. I believe that brings us to a successful conclusion.
Do we have any idea about the pump at Branchwood Pool? Is that a big ticket item or not?
No, I mean, this is pretty standard. It's probably gonna be under $10,000. It's just how quickly we're gonna be able to get the pump, and the timing was just absolutely horrible right before Memorial Day. I don't know if we're gonna be open for the Memorial Day weekend.
But the lake will be open.
But the lakes, the beach will be open, the lakes will be open, but I'm not optimistic about Branchwood. But the other pools will be open. All the outdoor pools will be open.
And has our beach and maybe our lakes been tested for E. coli? Just asking
We have
because
to
of you.
have a score, a level under 100, and you'll notice there was in the newspaper yesterday, today, there was a number of Beaver Lake beaches that failed. We have to be under 100. We were at 2. So that's really,
we definitely
really
passed.
good. Yeah.
So we have clean fish?
They're well-trained, I guess. Okay. I believe that's everything on the agenda. Is there anything else? And then I will,
Do you want to do the announcements?
what?
The announcements.
Oh, you want? The coming meetings? I know everybody just can't wait to hear these. There is for new and returning board members, a Board of Directors tour of our facilities, Friday the 31st. And it starts here in 9 a.m., but that's a closed meeting for directors only. There's an orientation for any returning members and new members, Friday, June 7th, 9 a.m. And it takes a few hours. The Recreation JAC meeting is Monday, June 10th, 4 p.m. in the boardroom. The Lakes JAC meeting is Wednesday, June 12th at 2 p.m. in the boardroom, followed at 4 p.m. by the Golf JAC meeting. The next GM meeting is Thursday, the 13th of June at 2:30, closed meeting. The work session for June is on the 20th at 9 a.m. here in the boardroom. And the regular monthly meeting, when we do the voting, is June 27th at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom. And I believe that brings to a close. I thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being your chair. Meeting is adjourned.
Don't forget the tour next week, comfortable clothes and walking shoes and so forth. We'll be going to a lot of places.